You stand at the edge of the calm bay, feeling the soft, warm sand beneath your feet as I guide you into the serene world of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. The water laps gently against the shore, back and forth, in a steady rhythm that invites you deeper into relaxation. You breathe in the salty air, cool and refreshing, while I describe the endless horizon where the sea meets the sky in perfect harmony. Imagine yourself here in the early 1900s, where time moves slowly, like the gentle tide pulling in and out, over and over. You hold a simple bamboo pole in your hands, its smooth surface familiar and grounding as we drift together into the tranquil routines of fishermen who lived in quiet balance with the ocean. The sun rises softly, casting a golden glow over the mangroves and reefs, and you feel the peace settling over you, wave after wave. I am with you in this moment, sharing the whispered stories of the bay, where every day unfolds in serene repetition, drawing you into a world of unchanging calm. You watch the seabirds glide effortlessly above, their wings cutting through the still air, and I feel the same soothing breeze on my skin, connecting us in this peaceful immersion. Let this gentle harbor embrace you as we explore its depths together, layer by layer, in harmonious cycles that lull your mind toward rest. The water's surface shimmers, reflecting the palm fronds swaying lightly back and forth, inviting you to let go and float along with the current of serenity. You find yourself standing on the soft, sandy shores of Pearl Harbor, feeling the grains shift gently under your bare feet, warm from the morning sun as I describe this tranquil haven in the early 1900s. The bay stretches out before you, a vast expanse of calm water, its surface smooth and unbroken, reflecting the pale blue sky above in perfect stillness. You trace your fingers along the edge of a weathered coconut husk washed ashore, its rough texture familiar and comforting, over and over, grounding you in this peaceful moment. I am here with you, breathing in the same salty mist that rises from the gentle waves, lapping at the shore in a steady rhythm, back and forth, wave after wave, inviting deeper relaxation. The landscape unfolds around us, with mangroves lining the edges, their roots twisting gracefully into the shallow waters, creating natural shelters where fish gather in quiet schools. You imagine reaching out to touch one of those roots, smooth and slick with algae, feeling the cool water trickle over your hand, again and again, as the tide ebbs and flows without hurry. I guide you through these timeless shores, where the earth meets the sea in harmonious balance. The sand dunes rising softly behind us, dotted with low-lying shrubs that sway in the light breeze, back and forth, in endless cycles. The air is filled with the subtle scent of salt water and blooming plumeria, carried on winds that whisper through the palms, rustling their fronds gently over and over, lulling us into serenity. As you walk along the shoreline, you pick up a smooth seashell, its pearlescent surface cool against your palm, turning it over in your fingers, feeling its ridges and curves, repeating the motion slowly, methodically, as I share the story of this bay's foundational harmony. In the early days of the 1900s, before the world changed, this place was a sanctuary of natural abundance, where the ancient Hawaiian fish ponds, or loko ia, dotted the landscape like serene mirrors. You envision yourself kneeling by one such pond, the stone walls, moss-covered and sturdy, holding back the water in quiet containment, fish gliding lazily within, their scales flashing silver in the sunlight. Over and over, I feel the same sense of peace as we contemplate these structures built by hands long ago, in rhythms of labor that blended with the island's pulse, stacking stones one by one, day after day, creating spaces of enduring calm. The geography here is one of gentle contours, with the harbor's entrance narrow and protective, allowing the inner waters to remain placid, undisturbed by outer swells. You stand at that entrance, feeling the faint current brush against your ankles, cool and inviting, as it flows in and out, in and out, in a perpetual dance of renewal. I am beside you, pointing out the distant reefs that guard the bay, their coral formations rising just below the surface, home to colorful anemones that wave softly with the underwater currents, back and forth in hypnotic repetition. These reefs, formed over centuries, embody the slow, steady timeline of the island, where volcanic earth gave way to life-sustaining seas, layer upon layer, without rush or conflict, just harmonious growth. You hold a piece of driftwood in your hands, its surface worn smooth by countless tides, tracing its grains with your thumb over and over as we delve into the environmental features that make this place so soothing. The mangroves, with their tangled branches, provide shade and shelter, their leaves rustling faintly in the breeze, a soft susurrus that echoes the bay's quiet heartbeat. Birds perch there, their feathers ruffled gently, calling out in mellow tones that blend with the water's murmur, repeating their songs through the day, morning to evening, in cycles of natural melody. You feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, filtered through the canopy, as I describe how the tides dictate the rhythm of life here, rising slowly to flood the shallows, then receding just as gently over and over, nourishing the land with each pass. In this serene setting, everyday objects become anchors of tranquility. You grasp a simple fishing net woven from sturdy fibers, its knots firm yet pliable under your fingers, mending it thread by thread in repetitive motions that calm the mind. I join you in this task, our hands moving in unison, feeling the texture of the cordage, rough and reliable, as we reflect on the bay's legacy of balance. The foundational events of this era, like the careful expansion of fish ponds by local communities, were acts of quiet stewardship, harmonizing human needs with the ocean's gifts, without disruption, just steady continuation. You contemplate this as you sit by the water's edge, dipping your toes into the cool shallows, feeling the sand shift beneath again and again, while the horizon remains unchanging, a line of perfect peace. The bay's waters are a mirror of serenity, their depths clear and inviting, where you can see schools of mullet swimming in lazy circles, their bodies sleek and silver, gliding without haste, over and over. I watch with you, our gazes fixed on this underwater ballet, as the light filters down in soft rays, illuminating the sandy bottom, dotted with shells and stones, each one polished by time. You pick up a small pebble from the shore, smooth and rounded, rolling it between your fingers, feeling its cool weight, repeating the gesture as a meditation on the bay's timelessness. The landscape invites such introspection, with its low hills in the distance covered in lush greenery that sways gently in the trade winds, back and forth, blending earth and sea in eternal unity. As we linger here, you feel the gentle pull of the current, like a soft hand guiding you deeper into relaxation, while I narrate the subtle wonders of this place. The air is warm, humid, yet refreshing, carrying the faint aroma of seaweed and fresh catch, evoking memories of simple meals shared on the beach. You hold a banana leaf in your hands, its broad surface glossy and flexible, using it to wrap a portion of imagined fish, folding it carefully over and over in routines that define this life. The sun climbs higher, its light diffusing through high clouds, casting a soft haze over everything, and you breathe deeply, in and out, matching the bay's rhythm. As we transition smoothly into the daily harmonies that unfold upon these shores, you notice the way the water's edge recedes slightly, revealing patches of wet sand that glisten, footprints fading with each wave over and over, a reminder of impermanence wrapped in calm. I am immersed with you, feeling the same sand between my toes as we explore the philosophical undertones of this landscape, where land and sea coexist in balanced contemplation. The bay teaches us about flow, about yielding to natural cycles without resistance, just gentle acceptance, repeated through the days and years. You stand there, letting the breeze tousle your hair, soft and persistent, while the mangroves whisper their secrets, leaf by leaf, in unending serenity. The environmental storytelling here is rich, with hidden coves where oysters cling to rocks, their shells rough and barnacled, waiting to be gathered with care. You imagine prying one open, feeling the briny liquid inside, cool on your fingertips, over and over, as part of the bay's soothing mechanics. I share this vision, our perspectives blending as the tide continues its dance, pulling in nutrients, fostering life in quiet abundance. The reefs hum with subtle activity, sea urchins nestled in crevices, their spines swaying gently with the current back and forth, a testament to the bay's protective embrace. You hold a conch shell to your ear, its spiral form smooth and echoing with the ocean's murmur, listening to that internal wave over and over as we ponder the deeper meanings of this place. It's a world of wonder, where every element contributes to a greater harmony, inviting you to let go, to drift with the current. The sun sets slowly, painting the sky in pastels, and you feel the day's warmth lingering on your skin as I guide you toward the next layer of this tranquil exploration, the routines that weave through the bay's daily life, seamless and repetitive. You awaken with the first light of dawn, feeling the cool bamboo mat beneath you, its woven strands smooth against your skin, as I join you in this serene routine of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. The air is fresh, carrying the faint scent of dew on grass. And you rise slowly, stretching your limbs in the soft glow filtering through the thatched roof of your simple hail. I am here, breathing the same morning calm as we step outside together, the wooden door creaking gently, over and over in memory of countless mornings just like this. You pick up your fishing pole, a long bamboo shaft polished by use, its tip flexible and strong, wrapping your fingers around it firmly yet tenderly, feeling the grain under your palm again and again as the day begins in harmonious rhythm. The path to the shore is lined with Thai plants, their broad leaves rustling softly in the breeze back and forth, guiding us to the water's edge where canoes rest on the sand, their hulls carved from koa wood, smooth and varnished, inviting you to trace their curves with your hand. I feel the same wood under my touch, warm from the rising sun as we prepare for the gentle outing. Loading nets woven from Olona fibers, their meshes durable, folding them carefully over and over in preparation for the catch. Pushing the canoe into the shallows, you feel the water rise around your ankles, cool and silky, lapping at your skin in steady waves. As I narrate this timeless ritual, the paddle dips into the bay, its blade flat and broad, slicing through the surface with minimal ripple, propelling us forward in smooth strokes, back and forth, paddle after paddle, creating a lulling cadence that matches the heartbeat of the harbor. You grip the handle, worn smooth by generations, feeling its reassuring weight, repeating the motion without effort over and over as the canoe glides into deeper waters, the mangroves receding behind us in peaceful farewell. In these routines, everyday objects become extensions of serenity. You hold a calabash gourd, its surface etched with simple patterns, filling it with fresh water from a stream, the liquid cool and clear, pouring it slowly, watching it flow again and again, quenching the thirst of the day. I share this moment, our hands mirroring each other as we cast the nets into the calm bay, the weights sinking gently, spreading the mesh wide like a welcoming embrace. The fish come, mullet and milkfish, swimming in lazy schools, their fins cutting the water softly, over and over, drawn to the familiar ponds where they thrive in balanced abundance. You mend a tear in the net, threading the fiber with a bone needle, sharp yet delicate, pulling it through loop by loop in repetitive stitches that calm the mind back and forth. The sun climbs higher, its warmth enveloping us, and you pause to sip from a coconut, its husk fibrous under your fingers, the milk sweet and refreshing, drinking slowly, savoring each drop, over and over. With you, tasting the same nectar as we reflect on the cultural systems that shape these days, a blend of Hawaiian traditions and immigrant influences where Japanese fishermen share techniques of line casting, their bamboo reels, simple and elegant, spinning gently in your hands. The afternoon brings gathering in the shallows, where you wade knee-deep, feeling the mud squish between your toes, soft and yielding, collecting oysters from the rocks, their shells rough and encrusted, prying them open with a small knife, its handle wrapped in cord, smooth in your grasp, over and over. I guide you through this, our perspectives intertwined, as the tide shifts subtly, revealing more treasures, clams buried in the sand, dug up with a wooden spade, its blade worn and familiar. These interactions are peaceful, with families working side by side, voices low and melodic, sharing stories of the sea in harmonious tones, repeating tales of bountiful hauls from years past. You return to shore as evening approaches, pulling the canoe up the beach, the sand warm underfoot, dragging it inch by inch in steady pulls back and forth. Unloading the catch, you handle the fish with care, their scales slick and iridescent, placing them in woven baskets, the fibers plaited tightly, carrying them home where a fire pit awaits. Stones heated slowly, over and over. I feel the basket's weight with you as we prepare a meal, wrapping the fish in Thai leaves, broad and green, folding them neatly, the aroma rising gently as they steam. You gather with others around the communal fire pit, feeling the warmth of the glowing embers on your skin as I join you in this serene circle of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing community. The flames dance softly, casting a gentle light on faces lined with quiet wisdom, and you hold a ukulele in your hands, its wooden body smooth and resonant. Strumming the strings lightly, over and over, producing melodies that blend with the evening breeze. I am here, humming along, as we immerse ourselves in the cultural systems that weave this society together, a tapestry of Hawaiian traditions and immigrant influences, all in harmonious balance, repeating through generations without discord. The community thrives on shared routines where you participate in the evening storytelling, passing a calabash bowl filled with poi, its texture creamy and earthy, dipping your fingers in, feeling the stickiness, again and again, as voices rise and fall in mellow tones. These gatherings happen nightly under the canopy of stars, with elders recounting tales of the sea, their words flowing like the gentle tide back and forth, inviting contemplation on the island's legacy. You listen intently, tracing the rim of the bowl with your fingertip, smooth and cool, over and over, while I share in the listening. Our perspectives united in this moment of cultural continuity. In this society, roles are balanced and fluid, with women weaving mats from lauhala leaves, their fibers pliant and fragrant, braiding them strand by strand in repetitive patterns that calm the spirit. Over and over, you try your hand at it, feeling the leaves yield under your touch, the weave growing steadily. As I guide you through the process, our hands moving in sync. Men, meanwhile, carve hooks from bone, using small knives with handles of polished wood, shaping them curve by curve, again and again. Tools passed down through families, embodying the steady arc of heritage. The air fills with the subtle scent of smoke and sea salt, enhancing the sense of belonging as children play nearby, rolling coconut husks along the sand, their laughter soft and rhythmic, back and forth. You hold a lei of plumeria flowers, their petals velvety and white, stringing them one by one, feeling the threads slide through over and over, a simple act that symbolizes the interconnectedness of this civilization. I wear one too in our shared immersion as we reflect on the philosophical themes of aloha, the spirit of love and respect that permeates every interaction, repeated in daily greetings and farewells, fostering a deeper meaning of unity with nature and each other. This aloha extends to the immigrant families, Japanese and Chinese settlers, who brought their own serene customs, like the art of net fishing with silk lines, fine and strong, casting them into the bay with graceful motions, again and again. The cultural balance is evident in the markets by the shore, where you barter for goods, holding a basket of fresh papayas, their skins smooth and yielding, slicing one open with a knife, its blade sharp yet gentle, revealing the juicy interior. Over and over, vendors display their wares on mats, shells and beads, arranged in neat rows, their surfaces iridescent, inviting you to touch and admire, back and forth, as I narrate the quiet exchanges, words spoken in a mix of language, all blending into a harmonious dialect of the bay. These markets cycle weekly, reinforcing community bonds with no rush, just the steady flow of trade and conversation, layer upon layer. You contemplate the deeper meanings as you walk through the village, feeling the packed earth path underfoot, firm and familiar, passing homes built from thatch and wood, their roofs sloping gently over and over in architectural repetition. I walk with you, our steps synchronized, pondering how this society emphasizes sustainability, harvesting only what the sea provides in abundance, returning the rest in rituals of gratitude, repeated softly under the moon. The hidden lore of the place whispers through these practices, stories of ancestral guardians watching over the fish ponds, their presence felt in the calm waters, inviting gentle introspection on life's cycles. Environmental storytelling enriches this cultural fabric, with petroglyphs etched into rocks near the shore, their lines faint and meaningful, tracing them with your finger, feeling the stone's cool texture again and again. These symbols speak of harmony between people and the ocean, motifs of waves and fish, repeating in endless loops as I describe their significance, drawing us deeper into wonder. You sit by one such rock, the sun warming your back, and muse on the artistic vision of these early artists, capturing serenity in stone over and over. The day transitions into night with communal dances, slow and graceful hula movements, your hips swaying gently, hands telling stories of the sea back and forth, while drums beat a soft rhythm, their skins taut and resonant, tapped lightly with palms. I dance alongside in spirit, our energies aligned, as these expressions reinforce the themes of balance and contemplation, inviting you to let go of thoughts drifting into the night's embrace. Families retire to their homes, lanterns flickering with oil lamps, their glass globes smooth and glowing, casting shadows that dance mildly over and over. In philosophical musings, you lie on your mat, staring at the thatched ceiling, counting the woven patterns again and again, pondering the serenity of a life intertwined with the bay's rhythms. I join you in this reflection, our minds wandering through the broader narrative of island existence, where every element contributes to unrelenting calm, preparing us for the natural phenomena that grace this world, seamless and soothing. You gaze out over the bay at twilight, feeling the cooling air brush against your cheeks as I stand with you, immersed in the natural phenomena of Pearl Harbor's pre-war serenity. The sun dips below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of lavender and gold, fading slowly, layer by layer, in a display that repeats each evening without fail, over and over, inviting a profound sense of peace. You hold a smooth stone from the shore in your hand, rolling it between your fingers, its weight grounding again and again as we witness the gentle mechanics of the tide, rising imperceptibly, flooding the mangroves with nutrient-rich water back and forth in eternal cycles. The waters of the bay hold soothing influences where bioluminescent plankton glow faintly in the shallows, their light a soft sparkle that dances with the slightest movement, over and over, creating a magical yet tranquil spectacle. You wade in, feeling the water envelop your legs, cool and silky, stirring the glow with your steps, watching it swirl and fade again and again. While I describe this phenomenon, our views blended in wonder. These tiny creatures embody the bay's hidden lore, illuminating the night in harmonious pulses, reflecting the philosophical theme of light within darkness, pondered softly as the stars emerge above, twinkling in steady patterns. Sea creatures inhabit this world with graceful ease. You observe the green sea turtles gliding through the reefs, their shells textured and ancient, flippers propelling them slowly back and forth, surfacing for air in rhythmic breaths. I watch with you, feeling the same calm as they graze on seagrass, their mouths nibbling gently over and over, contributing to the balanced ecosystem where every action fosters serenity. You imagine reaching out to touch a turtle's shell, smooth and barnacled, sensing its quiet strength, repeating the gesture in your mind as a meditation on longevity and peace. The coral reefs teem with life, anemones waving their tentacles in the current, soft and flowing, like underwater flowers blooming eternally again and again. Fish dart among them, parrotfish with scales vibrant yet subdued, munching on algae, their jaws working methodically over and over, maintaining the reef's health in soothing continuity. You hold a piece of drift coral, porous and light, tracing its branches, feeling the intricate patterns back and forth as I narrate these mechanics, drawing us deeper into the environmental storytelling of the bay, where hidden currents weave through the depths, carrying life in gentle loops. Atmospheric reflections abound, with morning mists rising from the water, veiling the mangroves in a hazy shroud, dissipating slowly as the sun warms the air over and over in daily renewal. You breathe in the mist, cool and damp on your lips, while seabirds wheel overhead, their cries mellow and distant, wings slicing the air in wide arcs again and again. I share this sensory immersion, our breaths sinking with the fog's ebb, contemplating the deeper meanings of these phenomena, how they teach balance and impermanence, wrapped in calm, inviting gentle introspection. Natural events like the full moon's pull strengthen the tides, flooding the fish ponds with silver light, reflecting on the surface in shimmering paths, back and forth. You stand at the pond's edge, dipping a net into the water, its handle bamboo and familiar, feeling the resistance of the current over and over as schools of fish gather, their bodies sleek, responding to the lunar rhythm in harmonious dance. I am there, netting alongside, as we muse on the artistic vision of nature's design, where every phase of the moon brings quiet abundance repeated through the months. creatures of the night emerge, like hermit crabs scuttling along the sand, their shells borrowed and snug, claws tapping softly again and again in their unhurried journeys. You pick one up, feeling the shells spiral, cool in your palm, setting it down to continue its path over and over, symbolizing adaptation and serenity. The bay's weather patterns add to this, with trade winds blowing steadily, rustling palm fronds in a constant whisper, back and forth, carrying scents of salt and flowers, fostering a lulling atmosphere. In contemplative segments, you sit by the water, tracing patterns in the sand with a stick, its tip pointed and smooth, drawing waves that mimic the sea again and again. Pondering the wonder of these natural elements, I join in this musing, our thoughts drifting like jellyfish in the current, translucent and graceful, pulsing gently through the water, over and over. These phenomena amplify themes of contemplation, leading us seamlessly into the backgrounds of those who lived this life. Their arcs, simple and serene. You embody the archetype of the seasoned fisherman, feeling the weight of years in your steady hands. As I share this serene journey through the backgrounds and motivations of those who lived in Pearl Harbor's pre-war harmony. Imagine yourself as this wise elder with skin weathered by sun and salt, yet soft in its familiarity, holding a well-worn fishing line, its fibers twisted and reliable, winding it slowly around your fingers, over and over, in motions that reflect a life of quiet purpose. I am with you, embodying the same role as we delve into these simplified arcs, where motivations stem from a deep-seated love for the bay's rhythms, arcs that unfold in gentle, uneventful continuity, repeated through days of unchanging peace. This elder's background begins in the island's soil. Born to generations of ocean stewards, learning from childhood to read the water's subtle signs like the ripple of a school beneath the surface, back and forth. You recall those early days, grasping a small net, its mesh coarse against your young palms, casting it into the shallows, feeling the tug of a catch again and again. Motivations rooted in harmony with nature, not conquest, but coexistence. I feel those memories too, our perspectives merging as the arc progresses to adulthood, where daily hauls become meditations, pulling in fish with bamboo poles, their tips bending gracefully over and over, providing for family in balanced abundance, without excess or strife. You hold an old conch shell, its surface polished by time, blowing into it softly to signal the end of a day's work. The sound mellow and echoing across the bay, repeated at dusk each evening. This act symbolizes the elder's motivation to guide others, teaching apprentices the art of patience, showing them how to tie knots in the line, loop by loop, back and forth, fostering a legacy of serenity. I guide alongside in this shared immersion, pondering how these arcs emphasize reflection over ambition, where the fisherman finds deeper meaning in the horizon's steady line, contemplating life's flow like the tide, in and out, over and over. Another archetype emerges, the young apprentice, full of quiet curiosity. And you step into this role, feeling the excitement, tempered by calm, holding a wooden bucket, its staves smooth and banded with iron, filling it with bait from the shore, scooping handfuls of shrimp, their bodies wriggling gently, again and again. Born in the bustling yet peaceful village, your background is one of communal upbringing, motivated by the desire to belong to the bay's embrace, learning from elders who demonstrate net mending, threading needles through tears, over and over, arcs that lead to mastery through repetition, not haste. I am the apprentice with you, our hands working in unison on a canoe's hull, sanding it with pumice stones, rough yet effective, feeling the wood smooth under pressure, back and forth, as motivations center on preserving traditions, ensuring the fish ponds remain fertile, stone walls maintained block by block in cycles of care. These arcs are spoiler-free paths of growth, where challenges are mere whispers of wind, resolved in harmonious adjustments. Like adjusting a sail made of woven pandanus, its fabric sturdy and pliant, trimming it edge by edge over and over, you contemplate the fisherwoman archetype, strong and nurturing, weaving baskets from vines, their strands flexible and green, braiding them tightly again and again, background tied to the land's fertility, motivations driven by family sustenance, arcs that weave through market days, bartering with shells, their edges nacreous and cool in your palm. I weave with you, feeling the vines yield, as we reflect on how these figures embody balance, their lives a tapestry of repetitive tasks that invite introspection, pondering the sea's generosity in soft, repeating phrases. The motivations of these archetypes converge in communal fishing outings, where you join a group, pushing off in canoes, paddles dipping in sync, splash by splash, over and over, arcs that highlight unity and wonder without peaks or valleys, just steady progression. Hidden lore surrounds them, tales of ancestral spirits, aiding in bountiful catches, felt in the calm waters, inviting you to muse on their serene journeys, back and forth. In philosophical ties, you sit under a banyan tree, its roots sprawling and supportive, tracing them with your fingers over and over as I join in musing on the artistic vision of these lives, where every archetype contributes to the bay's unrelenting calm, leading us seamlessly into the environmental storytelling that layers this world with atmospheric depth. You wander through the mist-shrouded mangroves, feeling the damp earth squelch softly under your feet as I accompany you in exploring the environmental storytelling of Pearl Harbor's pre-war serenity. The air hangs heavy with the scent of brackish water and blooming orchids, and you touch the bark of a mangrove trunk, its surface rough and resilient, tracing the grooves over and over, uncovering layers of hidden lore embedded in the landscape where every root and branch whispers tales of harmonious existence back and forth in natural narrative. This bay's atmosphere is built on subtle details, like the way sunlight filters through the canopy, casting dappled patterns on the water's surface, shifting gently with the breeze, again and again, inviting you to pause and observe, feeling the warmth on your skin. I observe with you, our gazes fixed on these patterns, as world-building elements reveal themselves in the fish pond's ancient walls. Stones stacked by hands long ago, moss clinging to their surfaces, soft and velvety under your fingertips, over and over, storytelling through endurance, how they hold back the sea in quiet defiance, fostering life within. You hold a fallen leaf, broad and waxy, rubbing it between your thumb and forefinger, releasing a faint, earthy aroma, repeated in cycles as we delve into the atmospheric reflections, where fog rolls in at dawn, veiling the horizon in a soft haze, dissipating slowly, layer by layer, back and forth. These details paint a picture of balance, with hidden coves where echoes of waves reverberate mildly against cliffs, their rocks smoothed by time, inviting you to press your ear against them, hearing the muffled rhythm over and over. Environmental elements layer richly, like the coral fragments washed ashore, porous and light, picking one up to examine its tiny chambers, feeling the texture again and again as I narrate the lore of underwater gardens where sea fans sway in currents, their forms delicate and fan-like, contributing to the bay's serene mechanics. The sand beneath us holds stories too, grains shifting with each step, revealing buried shells, their spirals intricate, tracing them with a stick, back and forth, pondering the deeper meanings of erosion and renewal in harmonious cycles. You contemplate the atmospheric phenomena, such as the rainbow mists formed by distant sprays, colors arching faintly across the sky over and over, symbols of wonder in this world-building tapestry. I contemplate alongside, feeling the mist on my face as we explore hidden lore in petroglyphs half buried in sand, their carvings depicting fish and waves, rubbing away the grains to reveal them again and again, inviting gentle introspection on ancestral wisdom. The broader narrative themes emerge in these details, focusing on contemplation, where you sit on a driftwood log, its wood bleached and smooth, carving idle patterns with a small knife, over and over, while the tide laps at the base, back and forth. Atmospheric sounds implied in the narration, like the distant call of a myna bird, mellow and repetitive, blend with the rustle of leaves, creating a lulling continuity. I sit with you, our thoughts drifting as environmental storytelling unfolds in the bay's shallows, where bubbles rise from crab burrows, popping softly again and again, hidden mechanics of aeration sustaining the mudflats. You hold a vial of seawater, clear and saline, swirling it gently, watching the sediment settle over and over, musing on the artistic vision of nature's design, how every detail amplifies serenity. These elements cycle through the day, from morning dews coating spider webs, their threads silky and dewy, to evening stars, reflecting in still pools, twinkling steadily back and forth. In this immersion, we ponder the unrelenting calm transitioning smoothly into the historical overviews that emphasize the bay's legacy of peace. You trace the faint lines of an old map spread out on a wooden table, feeling the paper's aged texture under your fingertips, slightly brittle yet smooth, from years of gentle handling. As I join you in reflecting on the historical overviews of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. This map, drawn in the early 1900s, outlines the bay's contours with simple ink strokes, and you follow the curves with your finger over and over, immersing us in a timeline of harmonious steadiness, where foundational events unfolded in quiet, looped serenity, back and forth through the decades, emphasizing legacy without disruption. The bay's history begins in ancient times, with Hawaiian settlers constructing the first fish ponds. And you imagine yourself as one of those early builders, stacking lava rocks one by one, their surfaces rough and warm from the sun, fitting them together in repetitive motions again and again, creating enclosures that harmonized with the tides. I build alongside you, our hands mirroring the effort, as we contemplate how these structures, known as loco kuapa, endured through centuries, their walls a testament to steady engineering, fostering fish in balanced cycles over and over, without the need for change or conflict. This foundational event set the tone for the bay's legacy, a positive arc of sustainability, where communities thrived on the ocean's gifts, repeating rituals of maintenance, patching walls with coral mortar, smooth and binding, layer upon layer. As the 1900s dawned, immigrant waves brought new harmonies, and you hold a porcelain teacup brought by Japanese fishermen, its surface cool and glazed, sipping imagined tea slowly, feeling the warmth spread over and over while I share this era's calm integration. The timeline flows gently, with Chinese families introducing rice paddies near the shores, their fields flooding and draining in rhythmic patterns, back and forth, blending with native taro patches where you kneel to plant shoots, the mud soft between your fingers, again and again. These events were uneventful expansions, emphasizing cultural fusion in serene continuity, like the establishment of small docks from koa timber, their planks sanded smooth, walking along them step by step, over and over, facilitating peaceful trade. You ponder the mid-1910s, when naval interests began subtly, yet the fishing life remained undisturbed, and you grip a mooring rope, its fibers coarse and salted, coiling it neatly, loop by loop. As the bay's legacy evolved in balanced steps, I coil with you, our movements synchronized, reflecting on how the timeline looped through prosperous years, with annual festivals celebrating the harvest, lanterns hung on poles, their paper shades fluttering gently back and forth, illuminating nights of shared stories, repeated yearly in harmonious tradition. The positive arcs here are ones of quiet growth, where population increases brought more hands to mend nets, threading them stitch by stitch, over and over, ensuring the community's enduring calm. In the 1920s, technological simplicities like outrigger canoes with improved sails, enhanced routines without altering the piece, and you adjust a canvas sail, its fabric sturdy and wind-kissed, tying knots securely, again and again, feeling the bay's winds guide us. This period's events, such as the mapping of deeper channels for safer navigation, were acts of stewardship, drawn on charts with charcoal pencils, their tips soft and smudging, over and over, preserving the environmental harmony. I draw with you, contemplating the deeper meanings of this legacy, how each decade built upon the last in looped immersion, inviting introspection on time's gentle flow, like the bay's currents circulating nutrients back and forth. You hold an heirloom necklace of shells, strung on a cord, each one clicking softly as you count them over and over, musing on the 1930s, where economic steadiness prevailed, families bartering at markets with woven baskets, their handles worn smooth, filling them with produce again and again. The timeline's foundational harmony shines in these repetitions, with no harsh turns, just a serene progression toward unity as Portuguese immigrants added bread making to communal meals, kneading dough on stone slabs, firm and cool under your palms, back and forth. I knead alongside, our thoughts drifting through this historical serenity, pondering the philosophical undertones of legacy, where every event reinforces balance and contemplation. These overviews loop endlessly, like the moon's phases influencing the tides, and you watch the water rise and fall from the shore, dipping a bamboo stick into the shallows, stirring circles over and over. As we transition into the philosophical themes, that deepen this world's serene essence, seamless and inviting. You sit cross-legged on a woven mat by the water's edge, feeling the fibers press gently into your skin as I sit with you, delving into the philosophical themes and deeper meanings woven through Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. The mat, plaited from pandanus leaves, carries the faint scent of the earth, and you trace its patterns with your finger over and over, inviting a soft introspection on harmony, where every aspect of this world encourages gentle musing, back and forth, in rhythmic phrasing that lulls the mind toward drowsiness. At the core is the theme of balance, like the equilibrium between land and sea. And you contemplate this as you hold a balanced scale made from driftwood, its arms level, placing shells on either side, feeling their weight equalize again and again, pondering how fishermen lived in sync with nature's cycles, harvesting without depletion, over and over. I muse alongside, our reflections blending, exploring the nuance of this balance, how it teaches acceptance of the tide's ebb and flow, inviting you to let go of control, drifting into serene wonder, repeated softly in your thoughts. This philosophy extends to daily life, where routines become meditations, mending a net, thread by thread, back and forth, symbolizing the interconnectedness of all things, a deeper meaning that fosters quiet unity. You gaze at the horizon where sky meets water in an unbroken line, tracing it with your eyes over and over. As we ponder the theme of impermanence wrapped in eternity, how waves erase footprints in the sand, yet the bay endures again and again. This invites gentle introspection on life's transience, like holding a fading flower lay, its petals soft and wilting, smelling their lingering fragrance back and forth, reflecting on renewal through repetition without sorrow, just harmonious continuation. I join in this quiet musing, feeling the petals too, as the artistic vision of the bay reveals itself in these cycles, a canvas of natural beauty that emphasizes contemplation over striving, lulling us deeper. Deeper meanings emerge in the wonder of simplicity. And you hold a plain wooden spoon, its handle curved and polished by use, stirring imagined poi in a bowl, circle by circle, over and over, contemplating how such objects ground us in the present, fostering a philosophy of mindfulness. The broader narrative here is one of serenity amplified, where motivations stem from inner peace, like the elders' teachings passed in whispers, repeated softly for generations, inviting you to embody this calm back and forth. I whisper with you, our voices sinking, delving into nuances of gratitude, thanking the sea with small offerings of flowers, floating them on the water, watching them drift again and again. Philosophical musings on community highlight shared existence, and you link arms with imagined neighbors, feeling the warmth of skin against skin, swaying gently as in a hula, over and over, pondering the deeper meaning of aloha as a guiding force, repeated in every greeting and farewell, encouraging drowsiness through its soothing repetition. This theme ties to environmental balance, where you trace ripples in a pond with a reed, thin and flexible, creating concentric circles back and forth, musing on how human arcs mirror nature's, simple and unrelenting in their calm. You lie back on the mat, staring at the clouds drifting lazily, shaping and reshaping over and over as I lie with you, exploring the artistic vision of this life, where every theme amplifies restful contemplation, inviting personal reflection on wonder and harmony. These musings cycle endlessly, like the stars wheeling above, twinkling in patterns again and again, drawing us into broader narratives of peace, transitioning seamlessly into the tranquil activities that define the bay's everyday serenity. You engage in the tranquil activity of net casting at dawn, feeling the coarse weave of the olona fibers between your fingers, slightly damp from the morning mist. As I cast alongside you in this serene depiction of Pearl Harbor's pre-war daily interactions, the net unfurls gracefully into the calm bay, sinking slowly with its stone weights, clinking softly as they settle over and over. A repetitive motion that draws you deeper into the harmonious flow of community life, back and forth with each gentle throw. I feel the same pull on the line, our actions synchronized, as we immerse ourselves in these cycling scenarios, where fishermen greet one another with nods and soft words, their voices blending with the lapping waves, again and again, fostering quiet bonds without hurry. In the shallows, you wade alongside a neighbor holding a bamboo spear, its shaft long and balanced, tip sharpened to a fine point, yet handled with care, probing the sand for hidden crabs, feeling the vibration through the wood, over and over, as conversations drift like sea foam, sharing tips on the best spots for mullet, repeated in mellow tones. These interactions maintain a consistent calm with no raised voices, just the steady exchange of knowledge, like passing a gourd of water, its surface etched and cool in your grasp, sipping and handing it on, back and forth. I share the gourd with you, tasting the fresh spring water, as families join in gathering seaweed from the rocks, fronds slippery and green, plucking them handful by handful, again and again, weaving them into baskets for later use. You participate in mending sessions under the shade of a hala tree, its leaves rustling faintly overhead, sitting in a circle with others, threading a bone needle through torn netting, loop by loop, feeling the fiber yield over and over, while stories of past hauls are recounted softly, cycling through familiar tales that evoke smiles and nods. This elaborate routine strengthens ties, with children imitating the motions nearby, holding smaller nets, practicing knots with tiny fingers, back and forth, learning through observation and peaceful continuity. I mend with you, our needles piercing in unison, pondering how these daily interactions embody mutual respect, like bartering at the water's edge, exchanging fish for taro roots, their skins earthy and rough in your hands, weighing them gently again and again. Afternoon brings communal cleaning of the catch, and you kneel by a flat stone, scaling a fish with a shell scraper, its edge nacreous and sharp, flakes falling away in rhythmic strokes over and over, as women nearby prepare fires, stacking dry branches, their bark peeling smoothly under touch, igniting them with flint, sparks glowing mildly back and forth. Interactions here are woven with care, offering a portion to elders first, placing it on banana leaves, broad and glossy, folding them neatly again and again, a gesture of harmony that cycles through the group. I prepare with you, feeling the leaf's flexibility as these activities transition into evening walks along the shore, linking arms with a companion, footsteps sinking in the soft sand over and over, discussing the day's serenity in hushed voices. You hold a lantern during night fishing, its metal frame warm from the flame inside, glass pane fogging slightly, swinging it gently to attract squid, their forms gliding in the dark water, back and forth, while quiet laughter shares the space, repeated in light-hearted echoes. These peaceful exchanges highlight the bay's social fabric, with no conflicts, just the gentle reinforcement of community, like weaving garlands together, stringing jasmine flowers, their petals velvety, over and over, adorning one another in simple celebration. I weave with you, inhaling the sweet scent as we reflect on how these routines invite deeper relaxation, cycling endlessly like the tide, leading us seamlessly into the weather patterns that envelop this world in soothing repetition. You stand on the elevated bluff overlooking the bay, feeling the steady trade winds tousle your hair, soft and persistent, like a whispered lullaby. As I stand beside you, immersed in the serene weather patterns and seasonal cycles of Pearl Harbor's pre-war tranquility. The winds blow consistently from the northeast, carrying the faint aroma of distant rain and blooming ginger, rustling the palm fronds back and forth, over and over, creating a rhythmic susurrus that lulls the senses, inviting you to breathe deeply in and out, matching this natural cadence. I breathe with you, feeling the same breeze cool my skin as we explore these atmospheric reflections where the weather maintains a gentle continuity, cycling through days and months in harmonious loops without extremes. In the dry season, the sun shines warmly, its rays filtering through high cirrus clouds that drift lazily across the sky, forming and dissolving in soft patterns, again and again, warming the sand underfoot to a comfortable heat. You hold a broad-brimmed hat woven from lauhala, its brim flexible and shading your eyes, adjusting it slightly over and over as the light plays on the water's surface, shimmering in endless ripples back and forth. These patterns foster growth in the mangroves, leaves unfurling slowly, and you touch one, feeling its waxy surface, contemplating how the season's steadiness nourishes the bay, repeated in the daily evaporation and condensation, mist rising at dawn, dissipating by noon, layer upon layer. The wet season brings mild rains, falling in a fine drizzle that patters on thatched roofs, soaking in without force, over and over, refreshing the streams that feed into the bay. You catch droplets in a cupped leaf, broad and cupped like a natural bowl, watching them pool and overflow again and again while I narrate this soothing cycle, our views aligned on how the rain cleanses the air, carrying scents of wet earth and petrichor, inviting introspection on renewal. Seasonal fruits ripen in this rhythm, like holding a ripe mango, its skin smooth and yielding, slicing it with a small knife, juice dripping sweetly back and forth, symbolizing abundance in gentle repetition. You observe the monsoon breezes, strengthening subtly, bending grasses along the shore, their blades whispering as they sway over and over, without storm or fury, just a consistent flow that aerates the waters, oxygenating the fish ponds. I observe with you, feeling the grass brush my legs, as we muse on the deeper meanings of these cycles, how they teach patience and adaptation, like adjusting a rain cloak made of Thai leaves, overlapping them seam by seam, again and again, staying dry in the mist. Natural phenomena align, with rainbows arching after showers, colors fading softly into the horizon, repeated in the afternoons, back and forth, amplifying themes of wonder and balance. In transitional seasons, the air turns balmy, with fog banks rolling in from the sea, veiling the reefs in a hazy embrace, lifting gradually over and over, creating moments for quiet reflection. You trace the fog's edge with an outstretched hand, feeling its cool dampness while seabirds navigate through it, wings flapping in muffled beats, again and again. These patterns cycle yearly, from summer's warmth to winter's mild chill, where you wrap a light shawl, its fabric soft and hand-woven, around your shoulders, adjusting the folds back and forth, pondering the artistic vision of nature's calendar, inviting drowsiness through its unrelenting calm. You hold a calendar stick, notched with seasonal markers, wood smooth and incised, counting the grooves over and over. As I count with you, reflecting on how these weather rhythms influence fishing, aligning hauls with lunar and tidal harmonies, seamless and soothing. This exploration of cycles draws us deeper into serenity, transitioning gently into the invented serene tales that enrich the bay's hidden lore. You listen to the soft murmur of waves as evening falls, feeling the cool sand conform to your seated form as I weave with you these invented serene tales drawn from the hidden folklore of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. Imagine holding an ancient story shell, its spiral chamber smooth and echoing with imagined whispers, turning it over in your palm over and over as we drift into narratives reframed in calm harmony, looping through gentle cycles that promote relaxation, back and forth, like the tide's eternal pull. Hold a similar shell, our fingers tracing the same ridges, immersing us in tales invented to enhance the bay's soothing essence, where every story unfolds in unchanging peace repeated softly for drowsiness. One such tale speaks of the gentle guardian of the reefs, a mythical figure born from the coral's embrace, and you embody this guardian, feeling the water's silky flow around your imagined form, gliding through the shallows with effortless grace, over and over, protecting schools of fish in harmonious watch. In this lore, the guardian mends invisible nets of seaweed, weaving fronds strand by strand, their texture pliant and green again and again, ensuring abundance without effort. A story looped in cycles of quiet stewardship. I glide with you, sharing the weave as the tale reflects themes of balance, where the guardian's arc is one of endless contemplation, pondering the moon's reflection on the bay, back and forth, inviting you to muse on your own serene presence in this world. Another invented folklore tells of the whispering mangroves, trees that hold secrets of the ancestors, and you lean against one, feeling the bark's textured grooves under your back, breathing in the earthy scent over and over as leaves rustle tales of bountiful seasons past, repeated in mellow whispers. These stories cycle through generations, like holding a passed-down amulet of polished abalone, its surface iridescent and cool, rubbing it gently again and again, symbolizing continuity without change. I lean with you, hearing the same whispers as the narrative delves into hidden lore of underwater springs, bubbling nutrients, their waters clear and effervescent, fostering life in gentle bubbles back and forth. A folklore that emphasizes wonder and simplicity, lulling us deeper. You contemplate the tale of the eternal fisher, an archetype who casts lines into the stars reflected on the water, and you cast with them, gripping a celestial pole of imagined light, its handle ethereal yet grounding, drawing it back and forth over and over, catching dreams of harmony instead of fish. This invented arc is one of peaceful reflection, musing on the bay's deeper meanings through nights of stargazing, tracing constellations with a finger again and again as I cast alongside, our lines intertwining in the narrative. The folklore layers richly with elements like glowing plankton as fairy lights guiding the way, swirling softly back and forth, amplifying the serene immersion without tension, just looped serenity. In these tales, everyday objects become talismans, like a woven basket filled with moonlit shells, their edges smooth from tides, sorting them one by one over and over as stories of communal harmony unfold, families gathering to retell them around low fires, embers glowing steadily again and again. I sort with you, feeling the shell's coolness, pondering how this invented lore enhances the bay's atmospheric details, inviting gentle introspection on legacy, where each repetition draws you closer to rest. These narratives cycle endlessly like the bay's currents, transitioning seamlessly into the broader themes of wonder that permeate this tranquil world. You gaze upward at the vast canopy of stars twinkling above the bay, feeling the night's gentle coolness settle on your skin like a soft blanket as I gaze with you, exploring the broader narrative themes of wonder and balance in Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing serenity. The stars form patterns that shift imperceptibly, over and over, inviting a profound sense of awe, wrapped in calm, back and forth in their eternal dance. As we immerse ourselves in these amplified themes, repeated softly to evoke unrelenting tranquility. I feel the same starlight on my face, our perspectives blending, as we contemplate how wonder emerges from the bay's simple rhythms, like tracing a constellation with an outstretched hand again and again, fostering a deeper connection to the harmonious whole. Wonder manifests in the bay's natural balance, where ecosystems thrive in quiet equilibrium, and you hold a balanced pair of scales fashioned from seashells, their surfaces nacreous and even, placing grains of sand on each side, feeling them level out over and over, symbolizing the theme's nuance. This narrative arc emphasizes contemplation, pondering how fish schools move in unison, their bodies sleek and synchronized, back and forth, without leader or follower, just collective serenity. I balance with you, musing on the artistic vision of this balance, how it teaches gentle acceptance, repeated in the tide's rise and fall, inviting drowsiness through its steady continuity, layer upon layer. You reflect on the wonder of interconnectedness, linking these themes to daily life like weaving a lay of interconnected vines, their stems flexible and entwining, knotting them loop by loop, again and again, as communities mirror this, sharing resources in peaceful cycles. The broader narrative here is one of amplified calm, where balance prevents discord, and you sip from a shared coconut, its milk sweet and nourishing, passing it hand to hand over and over, contemplating the deeper meaning of unity with nature. I sip with you, our thoughts drifting, exploring how wonder arises from observation, like watching fireflies mimic stars over the mangroves, glowing faintly back and forth, a phenomenon that lulls the mind into restful introspection. Balance extends to seasonal harmonies, and you adjust a wind chime of hollow bamboo, its tubes clinking mildly in the breeze, over and over, producing tones that resonate with the bay's equilibrium, repeated in philosophical musings on sustainability. These themes amplify serenity, inviting you to lie back on the sand, feeling grains shift beneath you again and again as I lie nearby, pondering the wonder of timelessness, where every element contributes to an unchanging peace back and forth. The narrative's vision is one of subtle beauty, like holding a prism of sea glass, smooth and refractive, turning it to catch light over and over, revealing rainbows in the mundane. In this exploration, wonder and balance cycle through contemplative segments. You tracing waves in the sand with a driftwood stick, its end worn and pointed, drawing curves that mimic the sea. Again and again, musing on how these themes foster inner harmony. I trace with you, our lines intersecting as the stars continue their vigil, twinkling steadily, inviting deeper relaxation. These broader narratives loop endlessly, emphasizing restful contemplation, transitioning gently into the geographic expansions that detail the bay's serene landscapes. You traverse the winding paths that skirt the bay's expansive shores, feeling the packed earth firm, yet yielding beneath your bare feet as I walk beside you, guiding us through the geographic expansions and enduring landscapes of Pearl Harbor's pre-war serenity. The paths, worn smooth by countless steps, curve gently around inlets and coves, and you trace the edge with a walking stick of polished guava wood, its grain intricate and warm in your grasp, tapping it lightly over and over as the terrain unfolds in harmonious layers, back and forth in a timeless embrace of island geography. I tap with you, feeling the same rhythm, immersing us in these detailed vistas where the bay's arms reach inward like welcoming arms, creating sheltered pockets of calm water, repeated in the contours of the land over and over. The landscape extends to the northern reaches where freshwater streams meander from volcanic hills, their banks lined with ferns unfurling softly. And you dip your hand into the cool flow, feeling the current swirl around your fingers, again and again, as it merges with the brackish bay, nourishing mangroves that stand sentinel, roots arching into the mud, back and forth. These geographic features form natural barriers, reefs extending underwater like submerged gardens, coral heads rounded and textured under imagined touch, over and over, protecting the inner harbor from outer swells, a steady guardian of peace. I dip my hand too, sharing the sensation as we contemplate how these expansions foster biodiversity, with hidden lagoons where lily pads float serenely, their leaves broad and veined, rocking gently with the ripples, layer upon layer. You hold a map etched on bark paper, its surface fibrous and pliable, unfolding it to reveal the bay's sprawling outline, tracing the peninsulas with your thumb over and over, pondering the eastern expansions where sandy beaches give way to grassy knolls dotted with ironwood trees, their needles whispering in the wind, back and forth. This terrain invites quiet exploration, climbing low rises to view the panorama, feeling the grass cushion your steps again and again as distant mountains frame the scene, their slopes blanketed in mist, enduring through seasons in unchanging majesty. The southern geography blends seamlessly, with estuaries widening into broad flats, mud soft and silty underfoot, home to burrowing clams, shells clamped tight over and over, as tides cover and uncover them in rhythmic cycles. In these landscapes, environmental features loop in soothing continuity, like the central channel deepening gradually, waters clear and inviting dives to the sandy bottom where you imagine floating weightless, arms outstretched, drifting back and forth. I float with you, our breaths sinking, reflecting on how volcanic origins shaped this haven. Lava flows cooled into fertile soil, supporting coconut groves with trunks straight and fibrous, fronds swaying gently over and over. You grasp a fallen coconut, its husk rough yet comforting, cracking it open to reveal the white meat inside, scooping it with a shell spoon, smooth and curved, again and again, as geographic details layer richly, hidden coves revealing tide pools, teeming with anemones, tentacles waving softly back and forth. You stand at a vantage point overlooking the entire bay, feeling the breeze carry scents of salt and soil over and over, musing on the deeper meanings of these expansions, how they embody balance between earth and sea, inviting gentle introspection. I stand with you, our gazes sweeping the horizon as these enduring landscapes transition smoothly into the cultural societies that flourished within them, seamless and serene. You integrate into the fabric of a coastal village gathering, feeling the communal warmth like a shared embrace as I integrate with you, exploring the cultural societies and balanced civilizations that defined Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing harmony. The village, clustered around thatched hales with roofs sloping gently, invites you to touch the woven walls, fibers interlaced tightly yet flexibly, tracing the patterns over and over as we delve into these steady systems, back and forth in repetitive explorations of societal balance where Hawaiian, Japanese, and other influences blended in quiet unity, repeated through daily life with elaborate calm. I touch the walls too, feeling the weave, immersing us in this civilized tapestry of serene interactions and traditions. Societal aspects centered on familial roles, and you embody a matriarch, preparing a meal, holding a stone mortar, its surface pitted and cool, grinding taro root with a pestle of dense wood, pounding rhythmically again and again as extended families contributed, sharing tasks in harmonious division over and over. This balance extended to education, where elders taught navigation by stars, pointing with a gnarled finger at the night sky, tracing paths back and forth, instilling knowledge without pressure, just gentle repetition. I learn with you, our eyes following the same stars, reflecting on how these civilizations emphasized respect for elders, offering them the first portion of catch, wrapped in leaves, broad and dewy, folding them neatly, layer upon layer. You participate in seasonal ceremonies, donning a lei of kukui nuts, their shells hard and polished, stringing them bead by bead over and over as chants rose in mellow unison, voices blending like waves merging back and forth, celebrating the bay's bounty in balanced rituals. Cultural systems included artisanal crafts like carving canoe prows with adzes, blades sharp yet controlled, chipping wood chip by chip, again and again, symbols of societal pride passed through generations. I carve alongside, feeling the wood yield. As we ponder the deeper meanings of these practices, how they fostered equilibrium between individual and community, repeated in market exchanges, bartering with woven mats, their edges fringed and rolling them out smoothly over and over. Balanced aspects shown in conflict resolution. Simple councils under banyan trees, their canopies vast and sheltering. Sitting in circles to discuss matters with calm words. Passing a talking stick of bamboo, smooth and hollow hand to hand, back and forth, ensuring every voice harmonized without discord. These civilizations thrived on sustainability, rotating fishing grounds to allow recovery, marking boundaries with stone cairns, stacked rock upon rock, again and again, a repetitive stewardship that maintained ecological peace. You stack with me, our hands steady, musing on the philosophical undertones of this balance, inviting introspection on civilized harmony, where art and lore intertwined, like painting petroglyphs with natural dyes, brushing stroke by stroke, over and over. In these societies, everyday depictions enriched life, holding a clay pot fired in communal kilns, its curves even and warm, filling it with rainwater, pouring slowly over and over as families gathered for evening meals, sharing steamed fish on platters of woven palm fibers interlaced firmly again and again. I share the meal with you, tasting the flavors as these balanced elements cycle through time, transitioning gently into the contemplative segments on simple themes that deepen the bay's serene narrative. You recline against a smooth boulder warmed by the afternoon sun, feeling its solid contours support your back like a steadfast companion. As I recline with you, entering these contemplative segments on the simple themes that permeate Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing serenity. The boulder, etched with faint lichen patterns, invites you to trace them idly with your fingertip, over and over, delving into nuances of tranquility with soft, repeating phrasing that encourages gentle introspection back and forth in elongated reflections designed to deepen relaxation again and again. I trace the patterns too, our fingers moving in quiet harmony as we muse on the theme of presence, how being fully in the moment, like watching a single wave crest and dissolve over and over, fosters a profound sense of peace without the need for complexity. This simple theme unfolds in the act of breathing with the bay's rhythm, and you inhale the salty air, cool and invigorating, holding it briefly before exhaling slowly, feeling your chest rise and fall again and again, pondering how such repetition mirrors life's unadorned beauty, inviting drowsiness through its unwavering cycle. The deeper meaning here lies in acceptance, embracing the unchanging flow like holding a steady flame in a lantern, its wick trimmed and glowing mildly, watching the light flicker softly back and forth, a meditation on constancy that lulls the mind. I breathe with you, sharing the inhalation as we contemplate the nuance of gratitude for small gifts, like the feel of sand sifting through your fingers, warm and granular, over and over, thanking the earth for its quiet abundance in repeated whispers of thought. You shift to the theme of connection, linking hands with an imagined kin, feeling the warmth of palm against palm, squeezing gently over and over, reflecting on how simple bonds weave the fabric of existence back and forth in harmonious ties that evoke wonder without elaboration. This invites soft musing on impermanence, like observing a leaf floating on the current, drifting lazily again and again, pondering its journey's end in serene dissolution, a theme repeated softly to draw you deeper into restful introspection. I link hands with you, feeling the same warmth as the segment delves into balance, holding a feather-light scale of thoughts, tipping it side to side over and over, contemplating how equilibrium in daily simplicity sustains the soul layer upon layer. In these contemplative passages, everyday objects anchor the themes, such as grasping a worn pebble, round and cool from the shore, rolling it in your palm back and forth, musing on resilience, how it withstands tides, yet remains unchanged again and again, encouraging a drowsy reflection on personal strength wrapped in calm. The artistic vision emerges in these simplicities, like drawing idle circles in the damp sand with a twig, its bark peeling smoothly, over and over, pondering creativity's quiet spark, repeated in phrases that lull and soothe. I draw with you, our circles overlapping as we explore the theme of renewal, watching the sun dip and rise in memory, its light warming the horizon, back and forth, a cycle that teaches hope without fanfare, inviting gentle drowsiness. You ponder the deeper meaning of stillness, sitting unmoving as the world hums softly around you, feeling the air's subtle movements on your skin over and over, a theme that amplifies serenity through repetition again and again, fostering introspection on inner peace. These segments cycle like the bay's gentle waves, transitioning seamlessly into the magical phenomena that add a layer of soothing wonder to this tranquil world. You witness the faint glow of twilight phosphorescence in the bay's shallows, feeling the water's cool embrace around your ankles as tiny lights sparkle like submerged stars, as I witness with you. Immersed in the magical phenomena and soothing influences reframed from Pearl Harbor's pre-war lore into calm, invented serenity. The glow pulses gently, over and over, a rhythmic phrasing that calms the spirit, back and forth in hypnotic continuity. As we explore these phenomena through personal lenses, where you dip your hand into the illuminated water, feeling the tingle of magic on your skin again and again, drawing us deeper into relaxation. I dip my hand too, sharing the tingle as this soothing influence embodies the bay's hidden mechanics, tiny organisms lighting up in harmonious response to the touch, repeated for a relaxing effect without surprise or intensity. These magical elements manifest in the whispering winds that carry ancestral echoes, and you tilt your head to listen, feeling the breeze caress your ear, soft and persistent, over and over, as faint melodies of old songs drift in, back and forth, inviting contemplation on legacy's gentle pull. The influence soothes like holding a luminous pearl from the depths, its surface silky and radiant, rolling it between your fingers, again and again, a magical mechanic that fosters inner calm, pondered extensively in repeating phrases. I hold the pearl with you, feeling its glow warm our palms, as we muse on how these phenomena tie to natural balances like moonflowers blooming only at night, petals unfurling slowly over and over, their scent wafting in cycles that lull the senses. You observe the enchanted mists that rise from warm springs hidden in the mangroves, veiling the trees in a hazy glow. And you step into them, feeling the vapor moisten your face back and forth, a soothing influence that blurs the edges of reality into dreamlike peace, repeated for drowsiness. This magic integrates with the bay's lore, where underwater currents hum with subtle energy, guiding fish in lazy spirals over and over as you imagine swimming among them, arms gliding smoothly again and again, viewing through our shared lens the calming mechanics at play. I swim with you, our strokes sinking, reflecting on the deeper meanings, how these phenomena encourage gentle introspection on wonder, amplified in unrelenting calm. Magical creatures appear in serene forms, like ethereal sea sprites gliding on the surface, their forms translucent and waving gently back and forth, influencing the tides to remain placid over and over, a phenomenon that invites you to reach out, feeling their whispery touch again and again. The soothing repetition cycles through, like collecting dewdrops from enchanted leaves, cool and beating on your fingertips, pondering their restorative magic, layer upon layer. I collect with you, our fingers dampened as these influences blend with environmental storytelling, hidden glades where fireflies sink in patterns, glowing mildly over and over, fostering a lulling continuity that draws toward sleep. You and I drift together on the calm waters of the bay, feeling the gentle rock of an imagined canoe beneath us, its wooden hull smooth and familiar against our backs, as we reflect on the deeper meanings and beauty of Pearl Harbor's pre-war fishing life. Over and over in this serene wrap-up, The stars above twinkle softly, their light reflecting on the still surface, back and forth in eternal harmony, inviting you to let go of the day's thoughts, drawing you deeper into relaxation with each subtle wave. You hold a single plumeria blossom in your hand, its petals velvety and white, tracing their edges slowly again and again as we contemplate the wonder of this world, where routines and landscapes, blended in perfect balance, repeated softly like the tide's whisper, fostering a legacy of unchanging peace that lulls your mind toward sleep. I feel the same blossom's fragrance wafting gently, joining you in this quiet musing as the bay's serene elements envelop us. The mangroves rustling faintly, the fish gliding lazily below. Over and over, symbols of harmony that emphasize restful contemplation, inviting you to close your eyes and drift. You breathe in the salty air, cool and soothing, exhaling slowly back and forth, transitioning towards sleep with the peaceful, unchanging imagery of endless horizons and golden sunrises, repeated in cycles that calm the spirit. Let this tranquility carry you as we embody the bay's essence together, emphasizing wonder, harmony, and restful contemplation over and over, softly inviting you to drift off into dreams of serene shores again and again in perfect, unending calm.